Front split stretch, hip flexor, back to wall, single arm overhead, dumbbell. This single arm overhead hip flexor stretch is a progression towards the front splits. If you have tight quads, you'll need to spend more time stretching the quads before using this exercise. The back to wall single arm overhead hip flexor stretch is an effective stretch for lengthening the anterior side of the hip and improving hip extension. It's a progression that I like to use in both the front splits and the gymnastics bridge. To perform this stretch, you will need a soft surface like a yoga block or an ab mat to place your knee on, a wall, and a dumbbell or a kettlebell. In a half kneeling position, place the top of the foot against the wall and the knee on top of the soft surface. The closer the knee is to the wall, the harder the stretch will be. I find that moving the knee forward gives me a better sensation in the hip flexors. Find what works best for you. As you step the front foot forward, you want to place it outside shoulder width, as this will give you more stability. The further forward you put the front foot, the deeper you'll be able to move into the stretch. The closer you can get your undercarriage to the floor, the better. This is how we work towards the front splits. However, it's critical to keep the hips square throughout the stretch. Do not allow the hips to twist as you perform this exercise, as this will limit the stretch on the hip flexors. Before starting the movement, you must set a strong posterior pelvic tilt, PPT. Contract the glute of the rear leg and think about tucking your tailbone underneath you. Focus on keeping the glute contracted as you move in and out of the stretch. We can load this exercise with a dumbbell or a kettlebell to improve the stretch. When holding a dumbbell, use a neutral grip, the palm faces towards the ear. When holding a kettlebell, use a pronated grip, the palm faces forward. This will help to protect the shoulder in the overhead position. If you find the overhead position uncomfortable, you can hold the weight in a front rack position. The torso will need to stay fairly upright to support the weight. When we hold the weight overhead, it helps to lengthen the anterior chain, which will also deepen the stretch. Gripping the weight on the same side that the leg is back, slowly start to move forward and away from the wall. You can use the front leg's hamstring to pull yourself deeper into the stretch. Try to close the angle between the front hamstring and calf muscle. You want to keep the hip square or slightly push the rear hip forward, increasing the stretch on the hip flexor. Continue to move forward and down as far as mobility will allow, or until you feel a nice deep stretch in the hip flexors. This exercise can be performed for repetitions, isometric holds, or a combination of the two. To perform the repetitions, you slowly move in and out of the stretch, trying to sink a little bit deeper with each rep. I would typically do 5 to 10 repetitions. During the isometric holds, focus on diaphragmic breathing and sinking a little deeper into the stretch, holding anywhere from 15 seconds out to 2 minutes. Once you complete the specified number of reps and isometric holds on one side, repeat on the opposite side. If you found this exercise did wonders for your hips, please subscribe to the channel.